good afternoon all. Hello.
Okay, sir. Hey, yeah, good morning. Good afternoon, Ambrose.
Good afternoon to you also. You are welcome to another question and answer. Yes, before we start, let somebody quickly pray for us. Very short prayer, please. Very short one. It's 12 o'clock already. Let's just start so that we can finish on time. Somebody should just pray for us. Brief one. Hello. Somebody in the house should pray for us. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Someone that should pray for us, please.
Hello.
Hello, go ahead. Someone should pray for us in the house so we can start.
We give thanks to Almighty Allah
Yes.
for giving us the privilege of meeting today. Almighty Allah, we ask for your wisdom and direction in the course of our seeking knowledge and power so that we will enhance and better our financial position. In your mighty name we have prayed. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you once again. You are all welcome to another session today. And before we start, I want to say sorry for what happened last week. We are really not happy because most of you are just waited and it was going up and down. But today, we have made provision that we might not experience such again today. Yes, pick one. Let's just go to the market. We're going to see the market in 3 dimensions. We're looking at the market on a daily chart, on a weekly chart, on monthly chart. Why we're looking at technical indicators today is because we know that our market now is not because of the fundamental, it's just because of what liquidity in the market and positive sentiment. And we want to watch those sentiments technically to know where we should be so that we won't be carried away with the trend we are seeing in the market. No, you should know the time you should exit your position and also when you should increase your position. And that is why we are looking at the 3 time frame to know exactly where we are and how we should also go going forward into the new month we are crossing over. Knowing that the new month we are going is the month for the early filers of earnings. And you know, this earnings is one of the major factors that have kept the market in this direction. That the holding structure of the market, I've said earlier, the PFAs, institutional investor, high net investor, they are not exiting the market after they have seen the outcome of a MPC meeting. On that note, it shows that this trend is likely to be in the market till end of the earnings season. And if the economy improves in this direction too, we might still have a stronger market after the earnings season. All depends on the GDP figure that will come. I know that GDP figure as it comes, it will bring another kind of sentiment to the market and to the economy if we are out of recession. But I will tell you before we go further that from the corporate earnings that we are seeing so far, despite they are unaudited, they are already giving insight what the audited account should look like, and at the same time, what the economy data with percentage of GDP will look like. Because if you remember, I've said it already, always here in this program, that stock market indices is a leading indicator all over the world. Now we are seeing that the corporate earnings are looking better, or even though some of them are missed, but it is more than what we expected. It is better than what we expected. They beat some imagination of some investors and analysts who are seeing the figure. Why some are still below expectations, we know. But going to the earnings season, telling us that the economy is likely to jump out of recession very soon. And that will also be a plus for the market because the numbers are already giving an insight, an indication that yes, we will see a better fourth quarter 2020 GDP because of the activity, despite that there was a little decline in terms of industrial productivities, which was reviewed by the December purchasing manager index, that was a little decline. But I see that they will still have hope that the GDP for last quarter of 2020 will be also better than what we saw in third quarter, which also will be a plus for the market. Yes, we want to go to the chart right away. If you look at the chart that I've been displaying as we speak now, This chart is a daily time frame. And you see a trend from April. Look at where my cursor, April to where we are today. You see there's always an uptrend and also a pullback, an uptrend, a correction. But the beauty that 2020 was a very strong market, very strong year in terms of return and activities. Also, what we are seeing in the early of 2021 is also a pattern that is being extended from that 2020. That means we still have insight that we are going to see a better market going into the last 2 months of the first quarter. And why I draw this what we call a pattern here. You see, the market tried at this level. At this level was what we call a double pot, a double top, and the market tried to resist, going up, and it pulled back a little, it continued. But when you get to the same level again, markets are trended for this period. This on a daily chart, so that you will get the gist. Before that, it came down here. But after this, market had what? An uptrend, straight uptrend for more than a week. You can see the trend up. And when it got to a level here, this was at a December end. I said it earlier that December rally or last quarter rally was as a result of few stock, high cap stock that moved the market for that period. You remember in our last discussion. And that pattern supported the market for that last quarter of the year. But at this beginning of this year, see, the pattern is already changing. It's already changing, telling you that the market is taking another dimension. And that is good for us as investors. But getting to this level again, market now also form another, sorry, let me remove this. I hope you are there. Yes, market now form another top here before it now pull back again and continue up.
Yeah, we lost you for some minutes.
For some minutes, okay. Okay, and market pull back here, and after forming this top here, and it continue up again. But I want to quickly make it more easier for us to look at the weekly. Please,
okay.
Please mute all your.
I'm with Stockbrokers Association.
Mute your mic, please, so that we don't want.
Saturday 11 o'clock. The Stockbrokers.
Mute your mic today. We don't want any noise today. Yeah, which is for December end year, and markets here form also a double top, pull back, try to return up, but stabilize here, and what we call side trending also at this point before a breakout. And this breakout came immediately after the MPC meeting. It does mean that the players, even the traders, the PFAs, everyone was waiting to see the outcome of MPC. Despite they are projected that they were not likely to review it, but people are saying, let's still wait. Because when market lost Thursday and Friday, the previous week before this quarter, it sent another fear to the market that, is there any feeler that they might likely, adjust the rate? But some, hard investors keep in mind that it's not possible that they're going to adjust the rate. But immediately, the feeler came to the market on Monday that this rate is going to be retained. See, that Monday market gained about 1.21% on Monday, which was a trend that was sustained till Friday. Tells you that MPC meeting was also a support, telling you that the funds coming into equity market is not likely to go out as we speak now, because other investment windows like the fixed income and the debt instrument that are now, they are not too attractive. And if the time gap or frame for you to make money in equity is short, but good to go back to that instrument. That is why funds from these PFAs or other fund managers are still in the market waiting for numbers. But one thing I should also make clear is that don't forget that at times there will be a change, that when these numbers are coming, they will be set down by those fund manager, because they factor in the result into their decision. For that, you have to also be very careful. Don't be carried away with the market going up. Once you achieve your target, learn how to exit, because I said it earlier in my write-up that profit taking is part of the integral and part of the market. That means you should know how to take profit, because when it start coming with all we're expecting and they start selling down, not that they are pulling out their fund, just to take profit and trigger the market to go. also know how to take profit alongside with those that have the big fund. Because smart money, they are the one that dictate market direction. This smart money is what we are seeing in the market now. When I say smart money, I'm not talking of foreign investors, but smart money for institutional investors that are within the economy. And that's why the market is a bit stable, because these funds are within us and they are waiting to see what you and I are expecting, and also looking at what is happening in the environment. And that note, whether there is rising inflation and whether there is insecurity or second wave of COVID-19, that should not send fear to you as an investor. Take right position in the right sector and hold on. Because as the trend is going, I have charted and see that once market break out 43,338.22, market is going to surpass what we saw in 2018 January. Around market was around 45,164. That tells you that this market is set to go a long way. All those with position in right stock, as there's a breakout, use those breakout to position in stock that will go with that trend. Don't just jump out of your position, but when you see that the factors that attracted you to that position are not there again, to start taking profit. Also read the market trading pattern, read the market direction. Where is it going to? Don't just hold because of holding sake. You should know when to exit. When you have made good profit, come out of it. Especially, don't set big profit for yourself or big target for yourself. Take reasonable target that once you meet it, you come out and go. I want to quickly go to the weekly chart. I said we are using a we're using okay. Are you there? This is the weekly chart. Yeah. Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing you, Ambrose. Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
This is the weekly chart on display. And this weekly chart has given us where the market is also going from here. But the good thing that we look at what we call MACD, it's an indicator telling us that the market is still strong to go up on a weekly chart. Knowing that the market is coming all the way from April 2020, see here that it crossed, the red crossed the blue, and it has been strong. And this bar, that is called, we call it a signal line. The bar chart here, or the historic chart here, is not below the line. It tells you that the market is still bullish and strong. Once you are seeing this thing below it, it says that it's a weak market or a bearish market. But you can see on a weekly chart, it's still on the up direction. And let me just quickly show you the same thing on a daily chart. You look at on a daily chart, it's also coming up. It has been on the downside when the market was a bit shaking, fear that's gone up. But now it's coming up. When I draw this arrow here to show you example what I'm saying, you can see this red arrow. It's coming up gradually. Once it crosses here, and the signal line also, what we call the line, the red is already trying to cut the blue from ground. Once from the bottom or from under, that will give you a sign of a bullish movement on a daily chart. This is a daily chart. It tells you that the market is still intact, that you and I should not just panic, but let's have our good investment strategy, exit, and buying strategy right. Once we've done that, there's no need for us to be panicking or rushing to go out of the market. Yes, let's go back to the weekly chart we are discussing. This is the weekly chart. But the good thing is that the month just ended. The month just ended, and I want to bring that monthly chart ahead. It tells you that on a monthly basis, you know what has happened for the month of January. And January has repeated like 3 years pattern now. If you look at the market for the past 3 years, January has been an up market. It tells you that there is change in the trading pattern in Nigeria market. That means we're having more traders than what investors. And at the same time, this pattern of January effect do not show in these 3 years because of what? Information and liquidity. And that is what we're also seeing here. Extension of that is what we have seen in the month of January I just concluded. Market of January, market was up for January. For market to gain 5.32 for January, it tells you not only that on a high volume and 99% buy position, just only 1% sell position, it tells you that there is something going for the market, which is what the earnings season, the low interest rate, and at the same time, the crude oil price, despite oscillating, has moved above the coronavirus era in March. That tells you that we are still having more to to support our revenue as the government depends mainly on this crude oil. You can see that it's above the benchmark for 2020 and 2021, the price as we speak now. That will go a long way to
We are not hearing you.
Ambrose, we're not hearing you again.
Hello? Hello?
Hello,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, we're not hearing you
We can
again,
hear you
Ambrose.
now. We
Can you hear me
you
now?
Yes, hearing you.
Okay. As I was saying, that the monthly chart will review a lot of things to us. For the month of January, state market gained 5.32, which is huge for a start of the year. Despite that the previous one, market did about 15 and 12 for other January the previous year. But this is a sign that the changing pattern in trading is becoming more real, because about 90 stocks, 98 to 90 stocks are stocks that now move in 2020. But those stocks now, to speak now, in this first month of January, they started making sign to rally. That will balance the market performance for the December and this January. On that note, it still gives us more insight on how we should go for the month of February. And you can see this is the monthly chart for what? For NSE. You see, this is the monthly chart. You see, the peak here was January 2018. And you can see that the trend was down after that, but pick up here in April, and we're seeing that the next breakout resistance line is this red line, and it's closed. And once it's broken out by market forces, depending on what happened as from February, as we're crossing over to next week, we'll see a breakout. That breakout will also give us sign that market is going to surpass this 45,164 we saw in 2018. But I want to take you back to this MACD. You can look at this MACD here. If a chart is, a chart is just don't take common sense and watch here. You see, in 2017, the market was up. The MACD was up like this before it started down in 2018. After here, look at it. The histogram started adjusting down. The market was down before it now crossed down to the to be bearish side. I remained this down all the way. Market was down. Now look at it. It was red, but it crossed over the green line again when the market was trying to rebound in the month of what? In the month of April. Now, as you see, it has crossed over again in the month of May, and you can see that it has started increasing its momentum, knowing that MACD is what we call divergence between the moving averages. You can see it here, and it is going up already. It tells you that for momentum, the market is staying intact. On that note, you and I don't need to fear. And also the unaudited results that were released to the market this week, because those companies that want to release their fourth quarter within the 30 days, according to the new rules, or you extend to release within the 90 days, you start releasing your fourth quarter. From the fourth quarters we are seeing and the unaudited we are seeing, numbers are showing us that there's better than what we have imagined before, because the numbers are reviewing better, especially from the one that came from the consumer goods. When you saw the result from especially from flour mill and others. And when I saw the one from industrial goods, and I saw that the BUA result that came unaudited is having 2 naira 8 kobo for full year against 1 naira. It's something for the previous year. And this is stock that is selling above 70 naira. And also, it gives you insight to how the stock like WAPCO should be. If WAPCO should also report the same, too, and I saw that WAPCO is going to report more than that figure. That means you and I that are in WAPCO, this is not the time for us to panic out. Yet, if you have sold earlier because of MPC, I believe by now you have jumped back to that stock. But when the result comes, it's going to surprise the market, knowing that your investment in Ghana, they're kind of cool, but I don't expect them to reflect on the 2020 account. But from their first quarter result, that things will also reflect on their numbers. It tells you that you as an investor, look at where you are seeing a better number and start positioning. And also, it's giving us insight again how the banking result should be. When we saw stock of Stanbic, he gives you an insight again. Just give me 2 minutes, please.
Ambrose, we are not hearing you again. Hello, Ambrose.
I lost him.
Yeah.
Ambrose, yeah, I think his internet is challenged.
Yeah, his internet is challenging, my brother.
But so while we are waiting for Ambrose, WAPCO dropped a little bit yesterday, and but I think the rally is going to pick up from Monday. So
yes, I think
dropped, yeah, it dropped very marginally, you know, and you could see the volume. The volume was really.
Let me see.
Yeah, I think I share his sentiment on WAPCO. And if you look at the volume activity in the past 3 months, it has really been on the high side. It totally beats Boa and Jansen totally.
Let me ask you.
Was
declare any dividend?
You are very
no,
correct.
they just brought out the interim yesterday.
Yeah, okay, I think Ambrose is back. Yeah, Ambrose, go ahead, please. We're just
Hello?
catching up when you
Yes,
talk.
Ambrose.
Yes. Sorry for that. The BOA results are giving us insight what you expect from that industry. And also,
correct.
Like I mentioned earlier, one result for me, as expecting, will beat what we are seeing in BOA. Not just because the price is attractive, but because WAPCO performance from first quarter, second quarter has given us a trend they are maintaining, and that trend will be sustained in their full year. That means that price, as we speak now, I use that language, mispriced. It's still mispriced until it goes above 40, 42 before we can say, yeah, this is the position of WAPCO. And you don't forget that in their two right issue before what they did about 12 naira, it was done around 45, 42 naira. And those that invested then, especially if the white one or the foreign investor that invested, they also will love that stock to get to that price. For me, I see that position of WAPCO is likely to go higher. That means if you have sold because of MPC, kindly go back and position. And if you look at the dividend yield that will come, compare the dividend yield, whatever will pay with 70 naira above, and what a store that is selling for 30 naira or 40 naira going to pay, and he paid the same 1 naira 50 kobo. That will go a long way to give you an insight what we should expect from WAPCO. Not only that, I've mentioned Stanbic from the banking sector. Stanbic also have given us insight what we should expect from other banks. And don't forget that there are some banks that has that culture of even growing their dividend, but because of the economic situation, they might decide not to grow dividend. But nevertheless, we should expect even what they pay in 2019. If that is done, it's going to be plus. But there are some banks that are likely to maintain their what we call a dividend equalization policy. Might try to adjust a little up with small increase, which is possible, as we're expecting the banking result. Don't forget, I said that banking sector is the engine room of any economy. And when the economy is shaking, it's going to affect. But now that we are seeing a sign of recovery from the numbers we are seeing, and also the economic indicators we are seeing gradually, I see that 2021, the banks will find it too difficult, but our banks have been resilient for all this. Since during the time of from 2009 till date, in terms of any adjustment, our bank has really adapt to the system. For me, I'm not afraid of our banks in any going forward. They're going to know how to survive the terrain they find themselves, knowing that now they are all branching out to go into holding a company. It's for a purpose. It's not because the name holding company. They want how they can beef up their revenue in doing other business. Since the universal license is not obtainable as to speak now, but with the holding company, they can have other business operating with them. On that, we cannot equally support their, but that's why I say our banks managers and their team, they are smart. And also the economy also open their eyes where they should look at. For that, as an investor, this is the time for you not to panic, because this earning season and dividend paying period will keep the market in this direction. And if the economy improves, we expect a better performance going into the year. But don't allow the second wave of COVID-19, the rising inflation, or even insecurity to threaten our investment, because our market is driven by liquidity and positive sentiment because of what is around the market now, especially as the fixed income market remain unattractive because of negative real return. I think the equity market will enjoy this rally and this sentiment the end of the earning season. Don't forget that earning season for this law will extend, because as we're expecting the auditor result to end up from 30th of March, then the first quarter result for December year end also will be around in April, which will give us an insight what we expect from these companies going into the year. Knowing that coronavirus issue is getting to almost a year in Nigeria, and our companies are still responding positively. It tells you that they have mastered way to even operate in this tight corner. If companies are still posting better numbers within this 1 year, for me, going into the new year, into the new month, or into the whole year, there will also be way of playing around it. That's why I tell people that any management anywhere in the world will always find way of doing things, especially with the technology making things easier and the new normal, trying to play around it. I don't see our banks, being behind. I see them moving forward with all the trend we're seeing. Not only that, other sectors who have seen what is likely to happen there, especially the insurance sector has overnight become the toast of investors just because of recapitalization, because they are the big one want to swallow the small one because of merger and acquisition. But the small one will not want them just to swallow them. That on that note, prices are going up later so that they can have basis of negotiation. And that's why I say you should have to be very careful in buying those insurance, because when it will come a time that nobody is picking and you want to sell, any little money you have made in those insurance companies, just take it, because once the end of their capitalization is off, those stocks will be there again. But the one that will match will become a better place, because they will enlarge their business, enlarge a lot of things for me. But another thing that if I invest in insurance stock, you have to also be very careful, because they've done a lot of capitalization before now. We have not seen the impact much apart from the few ones. That means if you're taking position, look at very well the ones that are merging and what they are bringing on board for the merger before you can also take position on that. Thank you very much on the market review. For every other question, you can just start coming now so that we can rub mind.
Good morning, Mr. Ambrose.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you very much for your very incisive analysis this afternoon. I want us to look at the issue of the result of Cadbury that came in within the week, with the numbers looking very weak. Now, looking at those numbers, do you think that is what we will expect from other conglomerates like PZ, Unilever, looking at what Cadbury came with, and what do you think is accountable for that very weak numbers in Cadbury? That is one. I also want us to look at flour mills of Nigeria with a very impressive result. Does that mean that other flour mill companies too are likely to share a similar fate, like the Northern Nigerian flour mills and the Honeywell flour? Thank you very much.
Yes, that is a good question, and it's good that we are answering it in this format. That will give us, a clear direction where we are going. If you look at the number that came from Cadbury and Unilever, they are almost the same thing. Weak number. That's why there's a little improvement in that of Unilever in their fourth quarter, but still in red. But that of Cadbury was really, for me, it's disappointing. And at the same time, it reflects really what is happening in the economy, because then, the border was still closed, and most of these companies, all these beverage companies, they export their goods to outside the, other the neighboring country. For that period, we were able, and you can see that the number was a bit up in second quarter. Now in third quarter, thing was down finally. For me, that gives us insight that those companies, especially Unilever and Cadbury, and even likely that of PZ, or PZ, because PZ is also into personal use and all that, but PZ is just coming out from from their red position and the little investment they have gotten now or sale of their property might also help them to put their numbers together and they invest here and there for PZ. But for Unilever and Cadbury, we need to watch them. But you mentioned Flour May as a better number, which all of us have seen, and we say kudos to the company. Fine, and market treated them, because when market see a good number, they will treat you like that. They will they will respect you for that. Market really respect that number and reacted to it, and that is why I tell you, during any season, is this market reaction that you want to play. How did market react to any number that that we released in the market? But from what we saw in Flour May, that is likely to repeat itself in Honeywell and Northern Nigeria. But if you remember, if you they have Q2 number, the Q2 number for the same company, Q2 number for Honeywell, for Northern Nigeria, and even for Flour Mill was also different from others in that consumer sector. Only that for Nestle was flat, and Nestle maintained that position because of what the multiple product line which are helped them to manage the situation. When the economy is in recession, the first sector that will get the hit is this consumer goods, because people purchasing power is down and they are not consuming as before. Their goods are on the shelf. But for the flour companies, the kind of economy where our bread production and all those staple food is still going on, whether there is a recession. On that, you can see that sales in that sector was better than others. For me, an insight that we would expect a better full year result from those in flour business, especially, and also sugar. For me, I also see that talk like Dangote sugar, so also have expect a better number from them because of the nature of it's also its product. Those are both industrial and for consumption. That industrial aspect is real because they will need their product to do other things more than just let me not buy. No, I don't have money. But those that are used for business will always consume because it's part of their work, of their production line. For me, I see that talk like that Dangote sugar and this one we just mentioned, flowers will bring a better result at the end of the year, as we're expecting in the any season. But for Nestle is likely to give us a flat number from Nestle. Yeah.
Hello, Ambrose. Thanks for your insight. My name is Utibe. Please, I have some contribution to make.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I was looking at the results of flour mill. Okay, so yeah. I realized that flour mill has three segments. Okay, one is like food, so that is where you have the flour and the pasta. Yeah. Okay, and the macaroni. Then the other one is what they call the sugar value chain. Okay, and the third one is called agro-allied. So agro-allied is feed, animal feed, and the vegetable oil and the rest of them. Correct. So when I was doing like a deep dive, okay, on what is the turnover of each segment, okay, and what is the profit from each segment, I realized that the food, okay, and the flour made a lot of turnover, okay, but in terms of profits, they did not make a lot of profit. So the sugar value chain, okay, made like maybe 60, maybe 90 billion, okay, yes, as turnover, and made about maybe 10 or 11 billion as profit. So the point I'm trying to make is that the most profitable segment of flour mill is not even the flour, is the sugar.
Yeah.
So because the last person that asked the question was specific about a flour company. So when you're looking at flour mill's results, look at what is each segment contributing to turnover
to the bottom line. Yeah.
But I can tell the house that the most profitable segment in flour mill is not flour, is sugar and agro-allied. So I also agree with Ambrose that Dangote sugar is stuff to watch out for. Okay, because the sugar segment, okay, or the sugar value chain is more profitable than the flour and even the pasta. That is where you have a lot of turnover from flour mill. So it's just something for us to note, as we are making our investment.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Any other question?
Okay, so I can follow. Okay, let me just follow with a question. So it's like a question stroke observation. Okay. So yesterday, last night, some result came in last night from the banking sector.
Yes.
I've been very interested in the banking sector, but just want to share my observation with the house. I know it's a very challenging market, an environment for the banks. Okay, but when I look at the result that came in yesterday, EcoBank, Sterling Bank, First Bank, Stanbic IBTC. I realized that year on year, the result wasn't very impressive. Okay, yeah, but I also recognize that it was a challenging year. Okay, so maybe earning per share, if it was, for example, I'm just making up this number, it was 1 naira 70 kobo last year. This year will be about maybe 2 naira. So it wasn't significant. The
margin was
year-on-year performance, the margin was small. Thank you.
Small,
but I also realized that EcoBank, the result was poor by any standard. I don't know whether you guys have looked at EcoBank result. It was poor. Yeah. Standing IBTC, it wasn't impressive. Okay, but it was a marginal increase. Okay,
flat number.
So it was a flat number, correct? Flat number. So it's just an observation that I want to throw out there so that as we are investing, we take that into consideration. I don't know how the so-called big boys, the Fugas, okay, First Bank, UBA, GTB, Access, and Senate, I don't know how their result will play out. But from what I've seen so far, in my own view, it wasn't, the banking result wasn't very impressive. That's my own view. I just feel I should share it with the house.
It's a reflection of the terrain they are playing. The economy is not too, but the banks are really resisting. I love the bank, the way they are even performing. Okay, any other question? Thank you very much.
And it also goes back to the comment that Ambrose made about the holding companies. I think that also, it's challenged. So they need to go to the holding structure to make some money.
Yeah.
Hello, Ambrose.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. Concerning Unilever, I think somebody asked question. The fourth quarter results, that is the last quarter, has given us an insight into what we should expect from Unilever going forward, all things being equal. And I think
I mentioned it, yeah.
Yes, so people should look the way of Unilever if you are an investor, not a momentum trader. I think things will turn around better in the coming year. Then looking at the result, like every other person has said, this has happened before. Some of the results are not too impressive. And it could happen this way, that the prices we've seen up to Friday must have factored in the anticipated results. And if these results are somehow disappointing, any likelihood that we may have a retrace from where we were as at Friday in some of these stocks, because if you look at it, some of them have not even performed marginally. Some of them are so they perform poorly. Then the other one is on BUA. We've all realized why BUA cement moved up like that. About 2 weeks ago, we learned that it was listed among the top billionaires in Africa. And I think that was yes. In fact, immediately that thing came out, I said, no wonder, because I was surprised to see why BUA cement price should exceed that of WAPCO. In terms of performance, though they are almost at par, if you look at their issued share capital, they are almost at par. If you look at their EPS, they are almost at par. So you see the disparity in price between the two. But it came out clear why they did that, and I think that will equally help us in the price of WAPCO, like you said.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you. The last one, in view of the MPC outcome, which is coming back in the next 2 months.
Okay.
And the results are now being turned in. Do you anticipate that the next MPC we may have a reverse of what we have as of today? Because that is the only thing that is holding on this market, not the fundamentals. There are some stocks that doesn't have fundamentals. So, because if we know that, it will be able to guide us more in addition to what you've told us, to be able to say, okay, let me reduce part of what I have.
Yeah. Actually, if you would have said that this time, let your investment objective, entering exit, and the what exit guide you. Don't be carried away with the market rally. If you have met your target, just like what we do in buy and sell signal. I know everyone in the house that knows that once you meet that target, whether the market is going to move the next day, I always say sell immediately. But if you keep to yourself, that is okay. But don't let your goal guide you. If you learn how to keep to your goal, I'm telling you, you won't get your finger burnt in the market, no matter how the situation in the market is. You only know when to go. But when you are greedy or you are following bad wagon, that is where people that enter, example, stock like Japan, when it was going up, people were still buying even at 120 kobo. But when it got to 128 kobo, say coming down, anybody want to go out from WAPO at the same time? It's not possible, and that is why the price continues to go up before it adjusted on Friday again. But it tells you that you should not set a goal for yourself. Don't allow the market wave or gyration to carry you. Just go. Let's go back to your question. Like the MPC meeting, if you listen very well when they were reading their communique, there's something that struck me that I really take from it. MPC, they are concerned about this economy bouncing back. And without the economy, there is no government. If you really want to sustain your government, you have to put your economy in order. He said they're going to do a call complementary funding or financing of projects between the physical and the monetary to bring the economy back to track. If that is the target of MPC meeting or CBN monetary policy team, that means coming MPC, likely adjustment is very slim. And also, the fear of inflation has been a major thing that people expect that they should adjust in this last meeting because of inflation is skyrocketing. It's on the high side. But I'm telling you, with the opening of the border, prices in the market has changed. But I don't know how government is going to help the farmers. The price of rice they were selling about almost 27 naira, the local rice. Today is going around 23. Have they made provision or kind of a subsidy for those farmers? But if we allow all this to come, naturally inflation will continue to come down alone because we are not producing enough for ourselves, and there was too much demand and there were few goods. That's why the price of all those items. And you know that food basket is what really control the inflation data. If price of goods are coming down in terms of individual goods coming in because of the border opening, naturally inflation will also come down. And also we expect that the new service chief they just appointed or by government to also will try to perform at the first 100 days to show their own strategy, their own capability. That also will reduce insecurity in the economy. And if that is done, in the next 2 months that the MPC is coming, if all these things play out and things start coming down, they might still not adjust the economy, adjust the interest rate that will trigger another one. Because the goal of that group, if you look at their body language, is for the economy to bounce back. Because if you want to create jobs, it's when the economy is doing well, you can create jobs. If you want to do it, it's when the economy. For that, I see that. Let's see what. But for me, if what I said now just play out, that after we have seen the January inflation data and super inflation data, we'll know whether they will continue likely to adjust down. But I believe that this year, if you look at the body language of all of them, they are not likely to adjust because they are looking at more on the economy bouncing back. They want to provide cheap fund for the economy. Also, the government is also benefiting from low interest rate we are seeing. The government also are borrowing at a low rate. For CBN to adjust it overnight, even the next coming, for me, it will be a bit difficult for them. That is why I see it. Yeah.
Sorry, Ambrose. In addition to what you have said on the MPC, I also do not expect MPC to change rate until we are out of recession.
Yeah.
So I think they will keep it flat and until we are out of recession. And also remember that you get out of inflation with 2 positive quarters of GDP.
Exactly.
So in my own view, we are in this thing till about September.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome.
Good afternoon, Ambrose.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, Ambrose, getting back to the cement industry, I need to know your opinion about WAPCO on the long run, considering that you have this Dangote, which is controlling much of the market, and also you have BUA now that also has a strategic plan to increase their production with targeting
the new plants,
the Northwest.
The new plants they are setting here. Okay.
Exactly, targeting Northwest and for exports. So what competitive advantage would WAPCO have as to compete in future? And how would that affect their performance in future?
Okay, as we speak now, I don't have the plan of WAPCO, but from look of things and how they have been operating before now, knowing that WAPCO also have market in this southwest too. That's why they are competing with Dangote in this southwest. Also in the north too, they are not too popular there, but they have their own strategy on how to go. And mark you, or let me remind you that WAPCO was in bad situation because of their investment outside the shore of Nigeria, going to South Africa and all those stuff. Then now they are coming back to concentrate on Nigeria environment, seeing potential here. And I tell you, Dangote, Bua, and Elo cannot service the demand of cement, especially when it comes to infrastructure drive of the government. Even after this government will come, the next government. As we speak now, Lagos State has already partnered with WAPCO on type of cement to use for infrastructure in Lagos State. So we are aware of also getting their own market. All the dog we are waiting for now, as we have seen, Bua roll out plans on a certain plant in social place, Sokoto, or this place, which is good. I know for very soon we'll also see the same plan from WAPCO. If that would not give us insight. But what I will tell you that as far the government is also opting increasing their capital expenditure, it's going to rub up on this industrial goods sector, because as government increase their expenditure, it's going to also demand more demand for their products. And I know that also the open of border will also allow these companies also to take their product outside the shore of Nigeria. For me, the sector has a lot of potential, and the price of WAPCO is wrongly, or I think priced, and I say mispriced price. It's going to come up, even though not up to 70 naira, but I see WAPCO coming around 50 naira to stabilize, or 48 to stabilize. That will give us where to plan, see their future numbers, whether we should hold it for a long time. For now, I'm not thinking WAPCO for long in my own portfolio or my team. We're thinking let's play WAPCO with the trend we're seeing because it's on their value or mispriced price, so that as time goes on, we'll start seeing their numbers and their plans. We'll know whether we can go. Like Dangote cement, you know where Dangote is going already, and you know what you can put there. But at the price of 243 or 234 of Dangote, I won't accumulate more Dangote, but rather I will do that more of WAPCO now to make profits first. Then as going into the year, we can now look at their prospect. Who can I enter for long term? But for now, let's take WAPCO that is struggling on that price or mispriced and take position of seeing it going up, because like what I said earlier, if you look at if a stock that is selling for 79 naira is giving you 2 naira 8 kobo for full year earnings, and WAPCO already has 1 naira 75 kobo for third quarter, I see that at the end of the year, WAPCO earnings should be more than 2 naira 8 kobo. And if that is achieved, you will see that there will be demand for WAPCO shares. And we trade information. And this means when this comes to the market will react to it. Even look at how market reacted to Julius Berger number. That is not too, for me, not too attractive. But because there is prospect, if you go to anywhere in this country, majorly Julius Berger is the one rendering the service. But in their first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter, they said that exchange loss was what put their account in red. But in their full year now, they are bringing that exchange loss as a plus now, as a gain. For me, I'm still watching that number. That means that sector, because of the drive for infrastructure, I think there will be a lot of activities for that, for construction, paint, and cement industry. That is the building material sector of the economy. Let's see how it goes. There's still potential for prospects, potential and prospects for WAPCO. There's no cause for alarm. Let's hold our position and watch. Yeah. But let's think more of short and medium. Let's leave long term for now.
Yeah. So I just have some insight I would also like to share.
Okay.
So I think from a strategy standpoint, okay, going outside the country, okay, diversifying into other countries, okay, historically, sometimes it can increase their turnover, but it may not actually increase their profitability. Okay, so we can see. So let me give you a good example. UBA is everywhere. Access Bank is everywhere. But what in terms of profitability, in terms of appreciation of share price, where is Access Bank today? Okay, so I think WAPCO, in my own view, I think WAPCO has taken a strategic decision, okay, to focus in country by first of all knocking up the South African business and knocking up the Ghana business. Nigeria is a big market, okay? And this market is big enough. Don't forget that there are just 3 players, okay? In a country as big as ours. So in my own view, I think WAPCO strategy is, you know what? Let's focus in-house. Let's focus in-country. All these, unlike Dangote has a different strategy, okay, which is spread my footprint in the whole of Africa. Yeah. It has an upside and has a downside, but in my own view, I think WAPCO strategy will work, okay, because they're just focusing in-country and trying to see how they can optimize the market in Nigeria. I still see a lot of prospect for WAPCO.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Any other question?
Yeah, Ambrose, how are you?
I'm very fine, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon. So I just want to ask for this Nigerian Police Force microfinance. Okay. Their figures were flat, okay, right? Their figures were flat. But then by Thursday yesterday, it became bullish. What was responsible? It moved from 1 naira 75 kobo on Wednesday to about 2 naira something yesterday. What is responsible, despite the fact that their figures are flat?
Yes, such a stock, is still among the penny stock, but penny stock with fundamental. That's why there are some stock that we call penny that has fundamental that investors can have confidence, in those companies. Police Microfinance is a company I know that it's like, if I see it like that they are sitting on gold. It's like they manage some of the, in-house pension for the police, and they have a lot of fun to play around with. Not only that, their payout is also impressive. If you consider the year 2018, when they acquire new technology, that year they didn't pay dividend. And before that year, their dividend payout has been around 15 kobo, 12 kobo, 18 kobo. For that 2018, they paid about just 5 kobo because they made it clear that they acquire new technology, and that for that they didn't pay more. But after that, the next year, which was 2019, they paid 20 kobo, and the stock moved from 1 naira 2 kobo to almost 199, and that was the highest throughout that 2020. And it came down to around 150, 148. But gradually, as we are looking at their first quarter number, there's no too much growth in the numbers, but the numbers have been stable and eating up, trending up gradually. If you look at the result they released for their unaudited fourth quarter, it's a flat number that had about 38 kobo any per share for full year. And when they pay 20 kobo, they have about 36, 35. Now, with the payout, ratio of this company, with the possibility that they are going to pay 25 kobo or 24 kobo is high. And if the stock is selling below 2 naira as at that Thursday and the Friday we mentioned, it's more than 10% yield. Naturally, that will attract a dividend investor, especially even the PFA that they are long term. They know the kind of police, they are more stable because of their police. When I say police, not that Nigeria police, the thing has come to stay. The company has come to, it's not that tomorrow lose the company. Needs their managing pension police fund, and that alone they have money to pay. That's why people are taking position, because they are more stable. That's why I see that reason. It's not because of the name microfinance. That microfinance, people want to say, oh, they are giving loan. No, their microfinance is beyond that, because they have the pension at their back. For me, that is why people are taking position. They are likely to pay good dividend from usually 24 to 25 kobo, and that alone will move the price even to around 2 naira, 60 to 2 naira 80 kobo. Because if they pay 2 naira 50 kobo, 25 kobo at dividend at the final year, that is at 2 naira kobo, that is 10%. And if they pay that and market is still bullish, the way it is, liquidity is still in the market, it's like we thought 260, 280. Actually, people are already taking position ahead of their audited, because they have seen the unaudited already, what's likely to come. It's just to audit and they pay dividend. Since you have seen the insight of what they are here looking like, you can just go in position and know that it's still attractive at this point, because if they pay that 25 kobo, because I said that they might likely be dividend call from some company, while some company will grow their dividend depending on the sector you are and the nature of their business.
Hello. Okay, Ambrose, I have a question. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, what do you think of Adova? What's the prospect for Adova in their own view?
Yeah, Adova from my own
view. I know they recently acquired NU.
Yeah, Adova from my own view is the price is attractive, is good, but with the moves since they bought $10 holding, they've acted as if they are acted as if they are likely to delist. And whatever you are seeing now, their third quarter result we saw was a result of one-off thing, one-off income that boosted their third quarter result, which I've not seen their unaudited fourth quarter for the 2020. If that, I can now look at it. But for me, because of the marginal increase in fuel price, all those companies in that sector are likely to do well or better or improve. Let me say, will improve in terms of performance because of the margin in fuel price, because they are all into marketing. That will help them because there's a lot of little increment in price. Going to impact their bottom line. But at the end of the day, if they are planning to delist, because actually as we speak now, Mobi or 11 PS have made it clear that they are delisting at their AGM. And if they are going to go that line, one has to also be very careful. But for me, the price is attractive. Another store that is attractive in that sector that would have attracted all of us is the Owando, because they have even more filling stations in this nation. And the margin increase of fuel price would have also reflected in their number. We have not seen their number for the past 3 years. Is it because they have issue with the SEC that I called? But that is not enough. Your investors have been in that for so period, and also they go in and out. Today you see, I want to ask for this, then the results come to be different entirely. For me, that sector, there are only few stocks I'm looking at in that sector. Stock like Total, that's why their number was not too attractive for the full year, but Total is already back in profit. That company, they have consistency in terms of, you can predict them. Now they are back to profit. We can still be tracing where they are going. Because if you look at the number they released for a full year, it's a misnumber. It's a misnumber because their top line was a bit down, while the bottom line was up for Total. If you look at the result that came from which of them in that sector again? I forgot that word. That shows that sector, they might likely do well in 2021 and forget about their 2022 because we'll not expect more. But on the strength of earnings of Total, they are likely to repeat what they pay as dividend last year. They pay about 6 naira 42 kobo or 640. If that also comes from Total, but that would not enough to put the price at 1 naira 43 kobo, 1 naira 40, 1 naira 43, 143 naira. Sorry, that would not likely to put the price. But or let if this sentiment in the market continue, and when market is going up, both the good and ugly will go up. For you as an investor in this forum, will not follow better to buy those ugly ones. You target those dividend paying stocks that has potential, so that when market turn against anyone, you are in good stock. You won't be regretting because you have to. But when you are buying stock because the price is going up, there is no fundamental. You have to be very careful because if market turn against you, it becomes a difficult situation for the person. Either you be stuck in that stock.
All right, thanks, Ambrose. I appreciate it.
Hello, Ambrose.
Thanks. Yeah.
Hello, Ambrose.
Yes, sir.
Yes, on that Adova, the Adova to me, I think Adova is a good buy. Going by the third quarter result, the one-off item was in third quarter 2019, and that was about almost 5 billion. I think that was interest income, and that was a one-off, so that did not reflect again in 2020. That is why some people will look at the performance, both the part and the bottom line, the EPS, as not being comparable. But if you back out that one-off item, then you see that their own performance turned positive. So the way of Adova, and by the fact behind the figures that was presented by the MD, we are looking the way out of dividends this for the year 2020. We just await the release of their result to see if it will be more positive. So for me, I think it is a nice one. Then I want to ask you, there are 3 stocks, that their results came out good. One is UAC. I know you don't always like UAC. UAC reported 106. 1 naira 6 kobo versus 183 loss in the year 2019, and I think that one is a good sign for UAC. Then NCR, I think Nigeria Credit System reported 1 naira 45 kobo versus a 9 kobo loss in 2019. Do we have any insight into this NCR? I know it is one of these low-hanging fruits, but results like this can give us an insight.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I will start with the NCR. An IT and all these IT companies, or call it ITC, if you look at nearly most of the ATM machine in most of our country now used by bank are from that NCR. It tells you that technology is what is in thing now, and I believe if they can package it well, it will go a long way to reflect. That is why stock like Champs and stock like Omatech that are selling at that couple, I see that there's a lot of potential in those ones if they can harness their business together and look at opportunities that technology is providing these modern days. Because technology is doing a lot of things. If you can position yourself in terms of technology, you can really do well. If NCR is result look good, but I've not seen the result. That's why I have little to son. I've not seen the NCR result and the UAC result. So when I was preparing for it, I saw that UAC released the result, but I have no time to go through that number and see how it looks. I believe in our next class, I would have looked at the two numbers and comment more on it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Ambrose, before you round up on the health sector, do we still expect that stock like May and Baker fits in? We still go beyond what they are doing now?
Yeah, I will say that sector, like the sector review and review that we did last week in the best data, we saw that even the coronavirus like a blessing in disguise for that sector. I see that activities has improved, and it's going to remain that until, let's say, the next 3 years. Because even the second wave now is going to make another more impact for them, because government want to even spend more and strengthen the sector. That will also bring activities for them. The numbers for first quarter, second quarter, even during the lockdown, their numbers are looking, because that is where there's activities now. Because everyone wants to spend to make sure that our the public health is in order. For me, that sector still remain has a lot of potential to go up. Especially remember that when the first news of a vaccine agreement between me and Baker and federal government was made public about 3 years ago, the price of me and Baker got as high as 6 naira 20 kobo. Now that the governors forum also emphasized that we should look inward and produce our vaccine in Nigeria, and you can't take it to chemists. It is this manufacturing, this healthcare manufacturing sector that government has to liaise with to show that they produce this vaccine. It's another way of bringing business to them. For me, I see that sector as a good one that one can look at. It's before now, it's just because our borders were open, cheap drugs were coming, and there was a lot of tourist government moving, any high government going abroad for treatment. But they've seen that there were times that no flight was accept you to land in their country. They have to look inward and make sure that our own health sector are looking good and better. For me, that would be a plus for the healthcare sector. If you are there, just hold on. Their dividend this time might not be too attractive, but going forward, that sector is a way to be. Yeah.
Hello, Prof. Hello, Prof. Hello, Prof.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Please, I didn't get a lot of this lecture session for. I don't want to find out where the problem was, but I'm interested in First Bank. You may have talked about it earlier, but I didn't get it. But yes. I'm interested in First Bank. How do you manage their results against the upside between current price and book value?
For me, First Bank, as before now, they tried to come out from their wood for like almost 2 years, but the sale of their insurance business is also going to be a plus for them in terms of numbers. And also, don't forget that in terms of non-performing loan, they've really come out from a bad situation to showing that they are really bouncing back. That is for me. But in terms of what they will pay, the payout for First Bank has always been low. It has always been low. And like one of our participants have said, the Fugas want to see their numbers first to know where they are going. Want to see their numbers. But for First Bank, there is a potential that they will bounce back going into the future. But despite the challenges of the economy that is facing the banking sector, First Bank has always have a low payout, and the results always come late. These are the trend I know. That's why expecting that the Fugas like Zenith Bank, GTB to come earlier in this February. For that of First Bank will be either towards end of end of March or late early April. For that, for First Bank, yes, for me, you can just watch First Bank. Look at others that their dividend payout is a bit high because the market is now, for now, the end of the March is going to be dividend playing. Those that will give you good yield is where investors will be looking at. The yield for First Bank is still low compared to their price now because their payout is also equally low. For me, First Bank has to be very careful there, unless you're a long-term investor. But for me, this is not time to think long. Let's play the market the way it is. Then later we can have a thinking long. That's why I always encourage investors that are in buy signal, have your long-term portfolio and short-term portfolio. The market situation determines the stock you are buying for long-term. The stock that has growth potential can be buying for long-term. But those that want to make money because of the season, you can make money and pull your cash and go back to your long-term portfolio. Don't just play long-term when there's opportunity for you to make money in the short term.
Andrew.
Yeah,
Hello, Ambrose.
Hello, sir.
Something on
Hello, sir.
Look, hello, Ambrose. Good afternoon.
Yesterday.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I say First Bank have released their result yesterday.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I've not seen it. Oh, that is nice. That is nice. Okay, sir.
No, they did.
They have released the result.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Hello, Ambrose.
And their result is quite confusing.
No, hold on. The EPS of First Bank is 2 naira 18 kobo versus 1 naira 95 kobo in 2019. That is the interim for now.
Hello.
I'll send the same thing.
I'm with you. Go ahead.
Okay, I said the result, the EPS of First Bank.
Okay.
2 naira 18 kobo versus 1 naira 95 kobo in 2019. You know, that is they will equally adjust for bad debts.
Yes.
More data.
Yes. Okay, I will, now that it is, I will study the result. In our next meeting, we'll look at this result because these are unaudited accounts. We can now make projections for the likely dividend they're going to pay. We'll look at their unaudited numbers, and from there, we'll now give this the projection we're expecting from dividend. But I've said earlier that payout for First Bank is always low compared to their price. For me, I don't expect much for them, even when they made the sales for their insurance operation. But let me see the number and study it. Then our next class, we'll start from that First Bank and UAC that I've not seen, so that we can part of our discussion in the next meeting. Because as we said earlier in the previous class, that this February, the early filers will start coming from what? From the second week of February. And they might surprise us by the first week of February, we'll start seeing their numbers. But we're expecting them for most from second week of February. And that also tell us how the market will respond to those numbers. But the reaction to Vitafoam are giving us how the market will, because look at Vitafoam selling above 10 naira as at Friday. Then the market really appreciated that 70 kobo against 42 kobo dividend they pay. No, these are the things we're expecting. If the one we're expecting, stuff like Yocap can even pay 50 kobo or anything above, the price will still go further. And the earnings position of Yocap is equally good to support even dividend above 50 kobo. Their payout is equally high. Then let's watch the market as they start reading out their number audited by next week or the coming other week. Let's see how the market will react to this number. Thank you very much. And
hello, one more question. Well, I can't get you on phone.
Why now?
I can't get you on phone.
Ambrose is always available.
He's still there.
My phone is always off.
Even by text, not getting you.
Are you available now? My phone is always on.
Is that true? Am I using the wrong number? I take it from the platform.
Okay.
I take it from the platform.
Take my number now. 080-281
281
64085.
64085.
Yes.
Hello, Ambrose.
This is not the number I know.
Hello, Ambrose. Take that one.
I got locked out. Are there any stocks recommendation?
There is. Let us hold on. Yeah, there's
hello, Ambrose.
Go ahead. Hello, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Ambrose. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm very fine, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
What is happening with Presco?
Presco? Fresco is still waiting. Fresco is flat now. He's waiting for a trigger. Result will come and trigger. It's no problem there. Their numbers are not.
Because even I want to sell at 80, I cannot get it to sell at 80.
At 80, you sell at the market price now. When the market pushes up, you can sell at 80.
No, you see that the demand is so weak. That's what I'm looking at.
And now demand will come now. That is market for you. Just exercise patient. There is time for demand for the stock. Then you cannot come out. Unless you are just want to sell at that. Just exercise patient. We're expecting their numbers to come. And Okumu are giving you insight how their number will look like. Okumu number was okay. Livestock number was okay. That's are giving insight that how press result will look like. You can look at number from livestock, numbers from Okumu. They are showing that the sector numbers will also be better than expected. Don't need to panic. When the result comes, it will go up. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Ambrose,
yes, for the stock.
Ambrose, there was somebody posted something on Zenith about the board approving their results and 2020 financial results and dividend. Do you have any information about that?
Yeah, they just approved it in their last meeting. That was not on Thursday. On Thursday, yeah. But now CBN has to approve. The board have approved the dividend and the result. But until the regulator, which is CBN, will finally approve and before they can make it over to the public. But from the trend we have seen, Zenith Bank will not pay anything below 2.50 Naira in their result. And that would be good. And if they move it to 2.55 Naira or 2.60, it will be better. I know the kind of chairman they have and the kind of their board member, they might likely to maintain that lead as a most profitable bank and also use dividend to also top it up. But let's just wait and see. For me, if you're in Zenith Bank, don't panic out. Just hold on your position. And being one of the early filers, if the results have gone to CBN as at Thursday, I believe that before the second week of February, my Zenith Bank, updated results in the market. Yeah.
So is it still good to go into Zenith, or for those that have been there?
For those that are there, hold on. For those that are there, hold on. But if you're a trader, if you are getting Zenith below 28 Naira, and when results come and they surprise the market with any dividend or impressive number, it might get to 32. 4 Naira is enough for you to come out quickly. Yeah, if you're a trader. But if you are there, don't sell, just wait. But if you want to enter for trading, but don't buy anything above 28 Naira. You enter it around 28 Naira. When results come, but don't forget that there's a trend in Zenith Bank. I will make it clear. Most times they reach the result, market don't react to it. It still start coming down. But unless the payment this time will be something else, or the kind of structure we have in the market now will change that pattern. Zenith Bank, I've studied that whenever it is the result, no matter how good it is, market will first of all treat it the way it is before you now rebound again. You have to have that one in mind. But if you are there, you can hold on. For new position, just watch. Just watch.
Yeah. What of livestock? Livestock, is it still good?
For me, livestock for me, you need to be careful now because their result is full year result about 13 kobo any per share, and you don't want to pay dividend. It will be more than 4 kobo or 3 kobo, and that will not put the price. But in terms of numbers going to 2021, we might see a better number coming from them because of the agricultural sector where they're enjoying some incentive from government. But to buy now, let it touch 2 Naira or 190 before you can take position again. But at 2 Naira 58 kobo, just hold on, don't enter again. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that one.
Yeah. Yes, for the stock for this week, we need to get 2 stocks to watch for this week. We have not seen results from Jaiz Bank. And Jaiz Bank has been consistent for the past 2 years now. I'll be 2 years now paying a dividend of 3 kobo. And market has not, I have not seen that even unaudited results. But because of their nature of their business, I see potential in that penny stock compared to other penny stock in the market. If you are looking for stock for penny stock for growth companies to invest, you can look the work of Jaiz Bank. Like I mentioned, Police Microfinance last week. If you're also looking for dividend yield, find a stock that can go for dividend yield. Since there is it's below 2 Naira 20 kobo for dividend yield. Access, if you are there, hold on. And I gave access about 2 weeks ago on hand. Access, then WACO that we don't mention. Don't forget, if you're in WACO, hold. If you want to enter, you are free to enter WACO at this price. Thank you and God bless you.
Ambrose, please, let me ask, that Jaiz Bank, is it 0.03? Kobo.
0.03. 3 kobo now. 3 kobo.
Yes, they paid 3 kobo.
3 kobo.
Okay.
They don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Kobo 3.
Thank you very much. A Muslim brother prayed for us when we started. Let a Christian brother conclude the prayer, the meeting for us. Let us pray and thank God for what you have shared, so that we can go into the new week with a lot of expectation and good trading for the new month of February 2021. Let somebody pray for us.
Thank you, Ambrose.
Yeah. Let somebody pray for us. Let us round up for us. Just very short prayer. God bless you.
Our Father and our God will pray and will ask, as we move into the new month, let all our ways be prosperous.
Amen.
Let us be able to make decisions, and let us come back at the end of the month to glorify your name in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you all. Thank you. God bless you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Alaji, good afternoon. No.
I appreciate you.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, SARS. God bless
Yeah,
you.
good afternoon. Good afternoon to Alaji.
Afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all, and bye.
Yeah, bye. Thanks.